Making mistakes does not define us. Living with mistakes defines us. It is relatively easy to quiet the mind, to practice meditation, to operate from mindfulness when we are alone or when we are in the midst of favorable circumstances. But the rubber meets the road when we want to apply this new way of thinking into tough situations or when we are triggered. It is not only hard, it's downright excruciating. I've been able to handle the situations a few times, but a lot of times I have been unsuccessful and I have failed more times than I care to count. And my mind berates me. It throws stuff at me like, why are you not there yet? You know so many techniques. Why were you not able to apply them? Why are you going so slow? But then I remind myself that the important part is to remember to come back, to bounce back, to persist. And I tell myself that I will be stronger next time. I will make a different choice. If you also sometimes fall into these patterns where you feel you made a different choice than what you would have liked, and later you kind of judge yourself, why didn't you do it? Then know that you have the awareness now, and that in itself is a huge step, because if we were still operating from these old belief patterns, then we wouldn't even have that awareness that we are doing something which is not in alignment with where we want to go. So that in itself, being conscious that we did not make the right choice, is a huge step. Acknowledge that. Otherwise, if we were still operating from those old behavior, thoughts, and patterns, then we would still be making these mistakes and be miserable by these mistakes, or would be bragging about these mistakes to our friends in a silly manner. So now we have this consciousness. This itself is a huge step in the right direction. So once we know that we didn't make the choice that we would have liked, next time the situation arises, we choose again. We make a different choice. There's no lack of opportunities. If we miss something once, there would again be another time where we can make a different choice. We can take ownership and responsibility of our lives and then choose again. Choose something that is in alignment with how we want to operate from this new belief system. If we are operating on the autopilot thought system of the world, that will bring us the same thing that it brings to the rest of the world, which is living unfulfilled lives. Instead, we want to live empowered lives. We want to have deliberate thoughts and actions. We want to choose deliberately so that we create those outcomes that are in alignment with what we want to see. And if we don't do that, if we willingly choose thoughts and actions, then we would instead create something which will not be in alignment, and then we will waste more time trying to correct what it is we created. So why not make the change at the level of cause, which is when we are thinking and taking action? So we want to operate from positive set of beliefs. We want to operate from the sense of responsibility, so we know what we are creating and whether it will serve our needs or not. So every time there's an opportunity that life presents to us, we consciously look at it, we make a conscious decision, we choose what works for us, we persist in our actions until we see that end result for us. Persistence is key. Initially, it may be hard because we are operating from this new set of beliefs, thought patterns, which we don't have much experience with, because this has not been our default programming. But slowly, with conscious effort, we are making changes. We are operating with this new positive set of beliefs. So we have to put in time and effort, and we have to persist until we see the results. And the good part is that over time, as we keep persisting, we keep making choices that work in our favor, we keep thinking with the same positive thought patterns, then slowly we create new neural pathways in the brain. And the old patterns that are not being used anymore, they also get discarded over time. The nervous system gets the message that this is the new way of operating for us. So slowly over time, this then becomes our default script, and it's easier for us to operate from this level, because now it is something that is our go to way of thinking. So persist in making these changes, and over time, you will see that it becomes easier to operate from this new level of thinking. Keep going. If there are slip ups, choose again. Persist, and you will turn the corner. You will make it to the other side. The climb may be hard, but our will to persist is harder. And with enough persistence, we can make it to the mountain top. Finally, I will leave you with this quote by Estee Lauder. When I thought I couldn't go on, I forced myself to keep going. My success is based on persistence, not luck. Thanks for watching. Bye.